Hello and welcome to the Miss Rolling In podcast, where today we've got something slightly different for you as we're joined by Satch and Kez to introduce Fanpark, which is Forest's new fan zone. How are you both doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, awesome, man. Like I was saying to you beforehand, big fan of the podcast. I often watch you two. Just yourself, though? Just yourself today?
Just myself, yeah. Jacob is working today, unfortunately, so boo to that.
Don't you? You do. He does work. I've heard of work.
I feel like we need
that?
to
What's the
tell
point?
Audience what's just happened. This is a repeat. So Kez is that terrible joke that Kez just told. He's already told us 3 times before.
Oh,
the peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly. I feel it's only fair, right?
Yeah. So speaking of doing work, I imagine it's quite busy at the minute as you're preparing to launch next Tuesday against Arsenal. It's probably a good point to start, which is quite a general question, but what is Fanpark for those that aren't aware?
So we are a fan zone area just sort of stone's throw away from the city ground. We've got a huge live TV schedule, like similar to a TV schedule. We've got hosts, guest hosts. We've got a section with like a debate section. We've got some guys coming down from Arsenal. We can't reveal who they are yet, but we've got some pretty popular Arsenal fans coming up on stage. Kez is going to be presenting it. Then we've got people like, people might know Max as Matchday from Max, who's doing a fan cam area. And then my background is street food. So we've got a whole section of street food over on the far side. The area is just like a hub for Forest fans to come to before every game, whether it's home, away and televised, or live. So we'll be showing the game live, which should be really, really cool. But yeah.
And it goes without saying that a mention needs to go to some happy hour drinks prices, which is a rarity on a match day, any of the establishments in this city. So negotiating that was certainly a draw for us all wanting to be involved.
Yeah, there's some information rolling around the screen. So for those that are listening to this and not watching, the happy hour prices, it's just disappeared as I was about to say that, which isn't very helpful. But when it comes back, we'll let you know. But everyone loves a cheaper pint, so that's all I need to see. Cheap pints is the way forward.
The prices around the city ground are like £6.50, £7 for pints on average, which is obviously, unless you go to the TBI.
For a Carling.
Yeah.
For a Carling, £6-7.
So in a plastic cup.
Yeah. You're still getting a plastic cup here, but we've got Asahi who was sponsoring us, which is pretty cool. Like they're sponsoring Man City in Brentford, and for some reason they're sponsoring Fanpark as well. So they're a lot of infrastructure in place. From March, we've got a play zone area where we've got interactive football, we've got table footballs, we've got, like, you might have seen it in London where people can shoot against a wall and they get points for how accurate they are with their shot. So yeah, so it's going to evolve really nicely.
I think the most sort of interactive we can make any element of this really is, takes it a tier above anything else that I've sort of ever really been to. I think that's a massive exciting draw of it.
Yeah, I mean, just touching on that, it sounds exciting for someone like me. I've been to Box Park pre-Wembley. I've been to Tocker Social, which is a place in the O2 with interactive games. Yeah, and I think as someone that's a fan of both of those things, combining both of those attributes is only going to be a good thing. So that sounds wicked to me.
And thanks for mentioning one of the best days of our entire lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how good was that? How good was that Box Park, especially at the end as well with the sort of live music? I think that certainly inspired us to sort of try and take this to a next level as well. It's a tricky beast having live music and stuff, but I think the beauty of what we're trying to do, and I'm sure we'll go into this a bit further, is treat this thing like a show with a running order, and that entails different things at different times, just offering a bit more stimulation for people coming to a fan park. And that Box Park at Wembley, I mean, I'm sure you were with me taking your top off doing Bon Jovi in the middle of the thing. Can't quite believe we're in the Premier League, but yeah.
Yeah, not quite taking my top off because nobody needs to see that, but yeah.
Nobody needs to see that. It disturbed me for a good few weeks, that.
Yeah.
So for those that are wanting to head there before Arsenal, where is Fanpark located? And I've seen on your social media that there's a free ticket. It's on screen now for those that want to scan a QR code, but what is the sort of ticketing vibe?
So we've developed a system called Wallet Pass to give people an easy access ticket. They can just go to the fanpark.co.uk website, download the pass. It takes 20-30 seconds, and it goes into your Apple or Android wallet, just like your bank card would do. You scan in and you're in the fan park. It should be really, really easy for everyone. We're about a 15-minute walk away from Forest. It's at a venue called Binks Yard. For those that have been to Binks Yard before, we've developed it quite a lot. So there's a new outdoor sort of covered area where we've got heated area, and it sort of protects me from all the elements. The stage, we're doing loads of stuff. You can probably see behind us. This is like Nathan Purcell, who's doing all of our visuals. We've got we're seeing it like League of Their Own in Match of the Day. So we've got lots of interactive animations going up.
Just set the bar quite high with those two comparisons there. I mean,
yeah, it might take us 6 months to get there, but we will get there. So we're just trying to offer something a little bit different. So yeah, as I said, I guess I should probably answer your question. We're 15 to 20 minutes away from the city ground. It's a lovely walk over the water. So yeah, we're open from pre-match at 4 p.m. The game starts at 7:30. We're showing the game live on the big screen.
Yeah. So for those that don't have a ticket, they're free to stick about, watch the game there on the big screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hiring out tables as well. So if you want to book a table, then give us a shout. The screen's amazing. It's like the biggest screen in the Midlands, so it's a wicked screen to see. And then we're also open for after the game. So Kez mentioned the happy hour. We've got 2 happy hours. So we've got the pre-match happy hour starting at 5, and then we've got the after hours. So after the game, about 9:15, we've got the happy hour there, and then we're showing the Villa Newcastle game after a little bit of like post-match celebrations, hopefully, when we beat Arsenal.
Absolutely. And here's the happy hour prices on screen now. So pints £3.50, canned beers £4 for £10, double spirit mixes £5, and bottles of prosecco £18. So absolutely, end your dry January in style and get some happy hour pints.
Yeah.
It's worth giving Kez an opportunity to retell his, I would say, joke from the first failed recording. You mentioned there's a bit of covering, which should protect you from any storms. Over to you, Kez.
The Saka one.
Except the storm that is Bukayo Saka.
There you go.
Although, you know, the last 2 times that they've been down to our gaff, I didn't expect us to get the wins then, and when we did, so you know what I mean.
Exactly. But regardless, you can have a fun time pre and post match. So you mentioned there's some street food there. Have you got all your traders? If someone is out there that is a street food trader that wants to apply, is there any sort of positions available? How does that work?
Yes. So we're inviting everyone to just do DM us. Like we've had 70, 80 traders from around the country. We don't want to get all of them in on one day, on one game week, because we want all the traders to make some money, but also we want like a varied choice. So we're offering halal, we're offering gluten free, we're offering vegan food, but we just want the food to be exceptional. So we've on the first game we've got 4 street food vendors, and against Newcastle we've got 5. On the opening game we've got a Middle Eastern restaurant, street food place called Bar. We've got Smokehouse. We've got Binks that got their smokes, burgers and hot dogs, and we've got an Indian street food place. So it's a really nice sort of selection of food, but all the food's amazing. Like it's so good. Like we went around during, like, it was a really hard job, but we went around in November, December, just trying out loads of street food and deciding on who we wanted, and basically say, look, we'd love to see you down.
That sounds like a terrible job.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was as difficult as yours.
He made me sample them all and everything. It was horrible. I couldn't believe I had to do that.
I hope you've recovered now.
Yeah. All right. When they come again, I'll just make sure a second time I'll eat through all of them. Do you know what I mean?
The hero that Nottingham deserves. I've also seen on your social media that there's currently a giveaway for you could win your food for the day against Arsenal. If you would like to say how that works and how people can enter.
Yeah, so all the street food vendors have been amazing. So they're all giving away a couple of free meals. So all people have to do is go to the Instagram post at Fanpark UK and tag a few names in of who they're coming down with, and just share the post and like it. So it's pretty simple to do, but it gives them the opportunity to win their matchday food.
Brilliant. So Forest fans typically can be, recognised as quite a stubborn bunch. For those that have gone to the City Ground for years and years and have their pre-match rituals and venues already there as gospel, what would you say to those people to encourage them to go to Fanpark and try something new?
Well,
yeah, whatever you were previously doing, come and do something better. Not really. God, everyone's going to hate me on this. I'm like the cocky one that everyone's going to wind everyone up, and he's just straight talking and strangely quite likable. But yeah,
strangely.
I think what we've tried to do is, we've been to all these fan zones and they're obviously doing really well. Like, everyone's really busy and everyone's doing really well and everyone enjoys it. We've just tried to be really sort of picky with how we think we can improve on things. So street food is one of them. So by offering like a really good range of street food, and I don't mean like the hot dog stand that charges a tenner for something that they've just bought from the cash and carry and put together. I mean that food that people really care about. So one of the guys is a Michelin star trained chef, and that's the level that we really want to go down. So people really, really, really enjoy their meals. So they're going out for food and going to the mall. So that was a big key thing. The entertainment stuff, as much as I want to hear the same musician play the same songs every week, I don't. And I guess like by having various guests on that people can engage with, by having things like the fan spotlight and with Max, and having things with the audience and really trying to engage with people, having collaborations with different brands, by having the play zone, the TV schedule stuff that we've got is so cool. Like, one of the sections is where, I don't want to say too much, but each of the opposing sides, so we've got some guys from Arsenal, some guys from Forest, and they pick their perfect 11, but there's a few twists that make it a little bit more challenging. There's a mass karaoke session where, I think people will love it. It's inspired by the Box Park stuff. We've got quizzes going on, we've got competitions going on, but it's just going to be laid back fun. Like, as I said, we are inspired by League of Their Own, and that's the sort of genre and that's the kind of event that we're trying to strive towards. But we've taken inspiration. So one of the things that, without mentioning too many of the other fan zones, one of the things that we notice is the queuing system is pretty appalling. Like, we went to one a couple of weeks ago, and we had to queue for half an hour, 40 minutes, and we were like, this is ridiculous. So the ticket system is just going to allow us to quickly scan people in. So those people that have got tickets will be able to get in. And now there is a limit. So we've got a limit. So once that's sold out, those free tickets are sold out, there will be a paid structure on the door. So we are encouraging fans to quickly get those free tickets so that they don't have to queue, because nobody wants to queue. And you might as well come and enjoy the entertainment, go and enjoy your food, go and enjoy Kez on stage. And by doing that, it means that you're just walking through, like, nobody wants to queue before games. And that's a big part of what we're doing as well.
And for those, as mentioned, the free ticket will be on screen for those that want to scan it with a QR code. We'll also put a link in the description for you to access it if you need. And if you are listening, then we'll mention the socials at the end so that you can plug that and they can access the thing. But your website was at fanpark.co.uk?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Perfect. For those that don't solely follow Forest, like obviously Forest is a big part of Nottingham, for those that maybe like to watch the odd occasional England game when they're not too bored to do so, I believe you're also open for the England games. Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll be the biggest fan park in Nottingham for that. Tickets go live very soon, but people can pre-register on the website now. There's a link on the website where you can pre-register and you'll find out when tickets go live first. It's going to be unreal. What we've got planned is like next level. We've got Red Bull are sponsoring it, and Asahi, the other sponsor. So we're so fortunate we've had worldwide brands reach out to us to say we want to get involved. So we'll be really looking to elevate that. The Fanpark, even for this game, not just for Forest fans, although 90% of them will be Forest fans. We want families to come down. We want everyone to come down. So there's going to be enough going on for everyone. whether it's the street food stuff, whether it's the play zone area, whether it's the entertainment, like the drinks off and the happy hour. It's enough for everyone.
Yeah. And I like to think that you can dip in and out of it as well. Like if there's that much going on that, you know, you get a bit bored of what's a certain area is, you can just move around to the next thing. And talking about the Euros as well, it's all well and good talking about how, you know, all different sort of outdoor areas that there are in the city for Forest match days. But, you know, when it comes to June and it's corking hot sunshine and, you know, you think of those previous like World Cup / Euro England matches of yesteryear, there's no better place than here. We've got the canal side with the water there, this gorgeous arena really to come and play in.
It is an arena. It's the biggest screen in the Midlands. So we've got the biggest entertainment schedule. We've got the best lights. We've got the best sound system and the screen. That's what attracted us about Binks in the first place, because the infrastructure of the screen, the light and the sound was there. We've just spent a lot more time and a lot of cash on making sure that it's elevated even more. And we've got stuff like this going on, which you don't usually find, I guess.
Yeah, very interesting. I think just from my own experience of being in various venues around Nottingham, I think it's exciting to see somewhere like this open and you give a different perspective or a different experience, because largely you can get sort of bogged down in just recycling the same experience every time. So it sounds very good.
That's a big thing. Yeah, that's a big thing. But we wanted to stretch boundaries. Like Kez and I have arguments on a daily basis. Like, I just want to stretch, see how far we can take it. And I guess, like, you know, Manchester and London are the key areas in which get everything good, right? And like, I hear so many people that say, oh, Manchester's doing this, Manchester's doing that, London's doing this, London's doing that. Well, I feel like with what we have planned, not only can we match what they're doing, but we can actually do something a little bit better than what they're doing. And this sort of arena, this venue can really offer us that expansion. So we've got another area on the left-hand side. We can't say too much more, but there's a brand new bar going in and there's a brand new area going in, so we can increase the capacity in time for the Euros. So yeah, it will be the only. Pretty confident this will be the place to come to during the Euros. So highly recommend everyone pre-registers, because those that do register first will get the tickets and guarantee their entry.
Have you managed to get to away games yourself? I know it's an incredibly tough task for anyone, so it's not.
It's difficult. Yeah, the only one I was able to get to this season was the Wolves game. It might have even been last season. It all blends into one, but we lost.
Yeah.
It was a Wolves game last season. That's the only one I've been able to get to in the Premier League.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's solid. I've managed to get a few this season, and we got to 2 last year. But the reason I bring this up is because it's been really interesting. Now we are in the Premier League, to go to the sort of the biggest boys in the game and see how they're doing it. And there are certain elements that you go, this should be with us, and then there are others where I go, this could be done better. Do you know what I mean? And I think obviously Man City are in a league of their own in terms of their sort of match day experience. But again, it was so inspiring. I feel like they treat their match day experience around the whole ground like a bit of a show. It's great.
Yeah, I was able to get to the Man City game last season when we lost, I think 5 or 6-0. I was within the home end, so not much atmosphere going on there. But that was an experience that I think you could just recognise that is levels above of an entertainment package around the ground. Like, it was easy to get a drink. You had a live band playing. There were screens everywhere. There were activities. So it's interesting to sort of see that condensed in for Nottingham, because on the opposite side of that scale, Wolves, as an away fan, there was not really anything. There was just a small bar, and it didn't see anything around the ground for their home fans. It seemed particularly interesting. So
a shit time in Wolves. You sound surprised. Yeah.
Should have seen that one coming.
So elevating that fan experience is like the key phrase that we keep saying. So in terms of it's interesting you mentioned the bar. We've got 5 independent bars, so for quick service, we're making sure that everything is as quick as possible, so we can do we want everyone to go and have a drink as quickly as they can. That's like a big area. But we were looking at areas like the Bayern Munich. I don't know if you've been to games abroad, but like the Allianz Arena, like, it's unreal. From the moment you get in, you get the smells of you get people on the streets, and it's just really it makes people want to go to the game. It started well before the actual match day. I find with Forest, the matchday experience starts from when you walk into the ground rather than before the ground. And I think that's what we really want to bring. We want to bring an arena sort of vibe well before you get there. And like the tailgate parties of America, where, you know, people rock up in their cars and like offer street food and stuff. We're effectively doing that, except for you can't bring yeah.
Except you have to buy ours. Yeah,
you've got to buy ours. Yeah. But having those different elements and taking those inspiration from places out of the UK and bring them in, because I know Kez said the Man City one was really good, but in all honesty, most of the ones in the UK are pretty average. Like Box Park are doing really well with theirs, and Man City are doing pretty well with theirs. And so to have that collaboration with the Man City, the guys that are doing the Man City one, is really good. So if you have been to City of Manchester Stadium and you like it, then it's wicked, because our sponsors are the same. So
yeah, brilliant.
That's the kind of standard we want to get towards.
I think a lot of people can resonate with the Man City one, because I think there's probably more Forest fans in the home end than City fans that day. But yeah, if you've enjoyed that, then this venue is for you. So for those that are interested in finding out a bit further or staying in touch with updates, where can they reach you? Where can they find you online and on social media?
All the socials, so Instagram, Facebook, at Fanpark UK, on our website at fanpark.co.uk.
Perfect. Before we go to talking a little bit about the Arsenal game, I'd be interested to hear your predictions. Is there anything else that you want to say or put forward about the venue?
The only thing I'd say, quite genuinely, is obviously, you know, we don't want to count our chickens too much and expect that our turnout is going to be massive, but we're working towards that. And if that is the case, you can get tickets for the next two afterwards. So we've already got tickets available for Newcastle and West Ham. Tickets are free, just to repeat that. It's just to avoid queuing and stuff. And I would just say, yeah, the sooner you get them, because we don't know how this could turn out. You've got 30,000 people walking to a stadium. Make sure you get one. Yeah.
We've only got a few more tables remaining for the next match against Arsenal. So highly recommend, if you want to grab a guaranteed table, then please book sooner rather than later. We will have tables and chairs where people can sort of like try and grab. But if you want to watch a game with us live, then please book a table.
Brilliant. So they can follow you. They can follow you at Fanpark UK on social media. They can get their free tickets, and they need to act quick to get it for the Arsenal game, but also their free tickets for the following Newcastle and West Ham games. So if you're planning to come down, plan ahead, get your ticket. Sounds like a very exciting place to be.
A riot.
So it's going to be a riot. So I guess we better talk about Forest before you leave us. Have you got any predictions other than the storm of Saka for Tuesday's game against Arsenal?
When we were sort of preparing material for having Arsenal fans potentially here before the game, a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal were like in danger of slipping out the top four. And I'm looking at it now, and you know, it's all changed again. They absolutely annihilated Palace last week. I think they've sort of sharpened their armory again. A lot of clubs have lost players to AFCON. I mean, I know they've lost Partey, haven't they? But other than that, I think they're still ready and raring. And I would be. We've all said this after, you know, the last two times that Arsenal came down and we won. But I think the stakes were different then. I think it was the last game of the season, and the passion was like no other on it. And then the time before, when we were in the promotion season and we got them in the FA Cup, again, there was just the Stevie Cooper effect was in full swing by then, and we just believed that finish from grabbing. I don't know. I'm gonna be sort of not say the thing that we all want to say, and I think we're gonna probably get battered. I don't know. At home, we're a different beast, and let's.
He's only asked you a question.
I know.
What's
Sorry. Yeah. Well. There's that. You have to remember the last time we were at home in the Premier League, we beat Manchester United. So who knows what?
I've got a feeling Kaz is going to follow that up with a loss there.
Yeah, no, I'm still going to say a loss. I think we'll probably, 3-1, but don't forget that we can do a bit of a counter attack on those that like to against the bigger clubs.
Two things. I guess Kaz, with all of his other comments, he's got a counter argument. If we do like score a goal on the counter, he's like, "Well, I said it," as he said everything else as well.
Caveat. You've always got to put a caveat in there.
Yeah, he does that with every player as well. I think we'll win 3. Sorry, I think we'll lose 3-2.
Okay.
I don't think Arsenal were great against Palace. I know they won like 5-0 and stuff, but I don't think they were amazing. I think they were just really clinical. But I think obviously they scored 2 goals, I think, in injury time and stuff as well. So I think the score slightly flatters them. But I do think they'll beat us. Like, I think our defence is not great. And I think we're quite easy to go through. Saka and Martinelli in particular, I think, could destroy our fullbacks. And I'm not convinced by the centre-backs either. So I think Odegaard could have a field day too. But I do think, like, similar to one of Kez's 15 arguments about Forest, I think our counter-attacking skills are pretty good. So I think it'll be 3-2 to Arsenal.
There's a question here about who might be fit and in back for the Reds for that match. So if Gibbs, White and Alanga are back, are they? I don't know what the latest is. That's
doesn't sound like it, but I hope we're getting the wool pulled over our eyes there. I think they're essential to us, but it doesn't sound like they are.
Taiwo's back in training, and we all know what happens when he plays, especially against them.
Absolutely.
One thing I would say as well, actually, like, try and get down to Fanpark as early as you can. We've got some wicked entertainment before 6, all the way up until sort of 7:30 of the game. But like, just try and get in. We've got a couple of little surprises before 6 o'clock.
So it's open post-match as well. So even if we get absolutely smacked up, the best place to sort of either celebrate or drown your sorrows is Fanpark.
Yeah.
Well, we've got, like, the good thing is we've got the Villa Newcastle game, and we're playing Newcastle on the 10th of the next game. So I guess fans can see what we're going to be playing against on the 3rd of February as well.
I like it. A bit of scouting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the sort of post-match entertainment, there's two versions of that depending on the outcome. I mean, if we get a 4-0 drumming and then we try and get everyone here to sing Forest all over the world, I'm not quite sure it's going to work, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great. It's moving quite a lot. It's getting colder and colder. You got
now I've got my scarf on. Got my Wembley scarf on.
Fit for purpose, that scarf, for the storm of Saka, as we found out. Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll probably leave it there unless you've got anything else that you want to say or plug about Fanpark. But thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us, which I assume is at a very busy point in getting it ready for Tuesday. But live from 4 p.m, Forest v Arsenal. Get your free tickets now. Any closing words before we go?
What's your score prediction?
1-0 Forest. Let's shit ourselves.
There you go. That'll be 3 1-0 wins in a row against them at the City Ground. Let's have it.
Easy.
You think that score as well?
No.
No, not a chance.
Thanks so much for having us, Jojo.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.